We're going to call this meeting of the Finance Committee to order at 7 p.m. Online we have Heather, Angelina, and Nick. And in person we have Kyle, Victoria, Greg. We also have Amber and Mary Loria. Okay.
Skip called me. He screwed up the time. So do we have a quorum?
We do.
Okay, so he's good then. I was gonna call him on my phone, but
Okay,
he doesn't have.
and we have
But
Dan
he's but
Kutcher as well. Oh, and Evan.
okay, so we're good.
So we are at 7. So we are good. And Mark is not coming tonight, and that leaves Skip. Okay, so that's everybody accounted for. All right. First item of business is to approve recommendations for the town meeting warrant articles. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about on any of the recommendations?
Has everyone had a chance to review them? I believe I did 31, 32, which were for the restoration of both of the churches. I just want to make sure I've got all of the details there correct. Everyone
Yep.
agrees.
Those look good to me.
Okay.
Me as well.
No one else. I had a few short note. I had one note on Article 20, which was talking about our share proportional to the enrollment, but that's already covered by BVT's submitted explanation saying we have 7.7% of that. I had a note about how long that bond would be, but that's probably I don't think they told us what they expected for that. So yeah, there's nothing we can do there. Do we want to mention that there is a ballot question that goes along with this?
Sure.
So
I think we can add that.
yeah, same for Article 21 as well.
Okay.
Article 21, we talked about it'll take between 36 and 42 months to build once the order is placed. I thought we could add something there that said no payments will be made until after
Yep.
that, so people know that it's not going to hit us anytime soon. Number 23 has already been fixed on here. The 40, 41, and 42 where we recommend against, should we have anything on there saying why we are opposed? Like, there have already been issues identified with the articles as written.
Is that implied with the language saying that we reserve the right to change our recommendation?
I think the only thought was we oppose the passage, but we don't say why. I was thinking something like the opposes passage of the article as written due to issues with the articles as due to issues that have been identified with the articles as written, or something to that effect.
Does that actually give that much more information to the average town meeting attendee?
Only that it's known issues and we're not just opposing it for the sake of opposing it.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, all right.
May I comment?
Sure.
So, but did the committee didn't weigh whether or not it agreed with the intent, just that the language was
Yes.
broken, right?
Yes.
So I would say something like that.
Okay. So
That maybe we question the legality of how they were written or something.
okay, Angelina.
Because just like what you guys are saying, you don't want to say that we don't agree with it. We just don't think it's that that it's written so that we can agree with it.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yep. Angelina.
When we're done talking about this one, I just wanted to go back to 20 for a minute.
Okay. So if it's the Finance Committee opposes passage of Article 40 as written due to technical issues with the article, Finance Committee has not weighed in as to whether they approve of the content.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Content or intent?
Okay.
Because we kind of say we don't approve the content, but I thought they're saying there's no technical issues.
Well, we've discussed it. We did not
Yeah.
vote for one way or the other on that.
Yeah, I like the intent. I like that better
Okay.
because of what it's in. Yeah.
So the opposed passage of the article is written due to technical issues. They did not vote one way or the other as to the intent of the article.
And then keeping the bit in about reserving the right
Yep.
to change reputation. Okay.
Yeah, that would just be, that would be before that.
Okay.
Okay. You said you had a question on 20?
Yeah, my recollection was that if the bond isn't received, then they're not doing the project. And it doesn't say that here.
It's contingent upon the district's ability to secure grant approval from the Massachusetts School Building Authority Accelerated Repair Grant Program. That is at the very
Where
last
did I
sentence
miss?
of the article.
Where is it?
The very last sentence of the article. Of the article itself, not the explanation or anything.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Sorry.
You're welcome.
And just to note, we did specifically request that they add that language.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay. Angelina, do you still have a question? Or are you good?
No,
Okay.
I'm just putting my hand down.
Yep. Does anyone else have anything to add on the recommendations?
I'm just gonna call out that, and thank you, Amber, for editing last second. I sent through an initial recommendation for articles 37, 38, and 39, and then worked with Fiona to shore that up a bit. So as it's printed, it's correct, but it was changed from the original recommendation I wrote. Just want to make sure people have read it and are cool with it.
Yep. Dan?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out it looked like some of the recommendations are in some varying formats. I just thought it might be nice to kind of clean those up, kind of get them the same, like for example, as written at the end of the first sentence. Some have it, some don't. And then after that first sentence, having saying this article will blank, and then having our actual argument after that. Seems I feel like that's just kind of a way to add a little more clarity for town meeting voters who are potentially looking at this for the first time on town meeting night.
Yeah, I know some say as written, some say in the amount of, some don't have an amount because there's no amount to go with it. I did find one that was recommends the passage instead of recommends passage, but that's already been fixed. Do any of them actually say, okay, Article 26 says as written.
One says as written in the amount of.
30,
Article 32.
yeah, 34 as written.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 50-50, whether it says as
Yeah.
written or doesn't.
So would we like to have them all updated to include as written?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then some of them go right into making the argument, like elaborating on the argument for or against that we talked about, in our meeting, summarizing it.
Mhm.
I think having that sentence in between of this article will, and then just sort of stating the fact of the article, I think that's helpful. That I feel like that's something we could, delegate to Amber to insert there rather than having to have all of us, talk about it right now in the meeting and then vote on specific wording. I think with just the the sort of factual summary of what the article will do is something that we can kind of hand off.
Yeah, but didn't we not do that in the past? Because what you're kind of reiterating what it's,
Yeah.
you're just basically saying
So-
it twice. Like these aren't supposed to be like lengthy explanations. They're just supposed to say whether we like it or not and why, but not restate the article. Am I right? Is that right?
Dan, it seems like you
I-
want to make them all much more consistent with each other, and I can tell you that the language is more consistent on this one than other warrants. Sometimes it'll say they suggest the passage, recommend, like the language is all over the place. It's not too bad this time.
Yep.
Well, one, if I could weigh in
Yep,
just
go
a little
ahead.
bit. So one thing that we've tried to do, sometimes finance committee's only thing is passage as written, and sometimes it's a little more lengthy, so we gotta kind of get our arms around it. But what we try to not do is reiterate exactly what is already in the, like, some of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory in the article itself. Then we have an explanation.
Yep.
Then we have your recommendation that also explains after the recommendation part of it.
Yep.
So we've tried to just make it so that it's not just super redundant, but it is still in some places. But that's why some of it is
Okay, yeah,
consistent.
That sounds fine to me. I think prior to Evan coming on, I don't
Right.
think we had that explanation in between the article and the finance committee recommendation. I think
Right. Right.
I think that's like an Evan administration
It is.
addition. So yeah, I guess I'm fine not repeating things then.
And just one other thing, yes, that is something that I think is a preference of mine. But the other thing we've done is you will see that our explanation isn't on every single article, and ones that your recommendation pretty much sums up what the explanation would be. We've just foregone the explanation altogether, which does break up the consistency a little bit, but I think it does the same. It gets us to the same place in the end.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks, Dan.
35, the explanation.
The town of Sutton, ...
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
just saw that.
we're working on it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I had to work on
All good.
an incomplete.
Yeah.
All good.
That's just a little something we're still trying to make sure we have the right facts to
Yeah.
put in here.
As long as we know it's there. So.
Yeah, it's coming.
So Dan was talking about the
Draft one.
consistency. Articles 15, 25, 31, and 32. The bold and underlined runs into the sentence. And all the other ones, the bold and underlined sentence stops in there, and then there's a new sentence. I think that's just a very minor thing that we could.
Could you read
Oh,
those
I
numbers
Yeah.
off again?
I did that on purpose.
Okay.
Read them on
It was for so sometimes the sentence continues saying it recommends it because this reason. So I try to just bold and underline the section that says you recommend the passage, and if there's an amount, I bolded that as well.
Okay.
I mean, I can change it if you want it.
If as I mean, there are some intentional, so
You're making it wonky on purpose, Hammer?
Yeah.
The art of drawing the eye to the important piece.
We can look at those. Can you say those numbers
Yeah.
again?
Sure.
Greg?
15,
Yep.
25, 31,
Yep.
32.
Okay. We'll see if there's any others. We'll grab those too, but we can maybe wordsmith that a little
Yeah,
bit.
those are the only ones I found where it wasn't a sentence, bold underlined sentence, and then the explanation.
Yep.
I mean, if it's too awkward to change it, and I'd be fine with.
Okay. I think we should be able to come up with something.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Angelina.
An article, this is just a silly formatting thing, but in Article 38, I can't figure out the underlining. So like 12.2 isn't underlined, 12.3 isn't, but then 12.9 is 12.10, 12.11, like 12.12 isn't. Was there,
Oh, the actual
Oh,
article.
the section titles.
yeah, is there a reason why those aren't? Because in the rest of it, it looks like they are.
So that's in the actual Warren article, not our explanation.
Right.
Right. I don't know. It just, looks weird that
Yeah.
some are and some aren't. I didn't know if there was a
We'll leave
reason
that
or
to
if
you
that
guys
was
to figure
just
out.
Yep. I don't have a good
75
answer for
page
you.
document.
We, no, I'm not even gonna check that. I'm gonna speculate. Yeah, there's only 3 that are underlined, right?
Yeah.
12.9, 12.10, 12.11.
Yeah, there are 3 that are underlined and 4 that are not.
Yes.
So
We thankfully did add language that we'll have in the motions that allows us to fix Scrivener's errors like
Yep.
that, so it's not the end of the world, but I
Yep.
don't know why it's looking like that now.
and that could have just been copy formatting when moving
Yeah.
from one document to another.
Maybe.
We saw lots of that in the bylaw review.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, do we have any other comments? If not, I will entertain a motion to accept the recommendations as amended during the meeting.
So moved.
Seconded?
All right, any discussion? Skip Courier has arrived online, so we will now do a roll call. Heather,
Here, or I, I don't know what you want me to say. What, are we voting?
all
Aye.
in favor of the motion? All right, Angelina,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Skip,
Abstain.
Kyle,
Aye.
Victoria,
Aye.
and Greg votes aye. Declare the motion carried with 1 abstention. All right. Next item on the agenda is consider vote to approve state of the town message. So there were 2 amendments, couple typos and 2 changes from the one we reviewed last week. The first one is the addition of the development projects section and a little bit of update on the bolded section that we discussed last week. Are there any items to review on the development projects section before we talk about the other section? Seeing none. Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Just to state, I like the way that you sort of reformatted the statement that we had been discussing by throwing out like every constraint and every fact. I think it gets the same impact across. And hopefully tonally is more acceptable. I like it. It's good.
Okay, so I did practice reading it again last night and read about 8.5 minutes. A little bit longer than last year, but not much. I may work on that a little bit more as I go. I did. There are lots of places where I had FY 2022, and all those I took out the 20s just to make it easier to read. So FY 26, FY 25. I did keep some that were fiscal year 2024 at the beginning. Angelina?
Yeah, I think it's really excellent. You did a great job. Like it's really clear. It's very, I think it's very concise, but also gives enough detail of what, is going on. I just think you did a really, really good job. The only thing that I saw that was just a tiny typo was on page 3 in the paragraph that says we have 1,171, where it says this fall. I think fall should be with a capital F because it's the season.
I'm not sure that's just a generic term in that place. If it was like fall 2024, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I think when you're
What?
talking about the
Seasons
season,
and-
it's supposed to be
seasons and-
capital.
General or not?
They do not require capitalization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it feels like, fall town meeting or something like that, then you would capitalize it.
Yeah,
But otherwise, it's not.
Sorry,
yeah, they are not capitalized
Somebody's at
unless
your
they are
door.
part of a proper noun.
it's my dog. There's gonna be a lot more, so I silenced it. He's out there. What did you say?
Okay,
I take it he's done already.
Looks great.
alright, any other comments on this before we move to a vote?
Maybe you should change fall to autumn. Make it a little more weighty.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
We're adding time to Greg's 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Letter by letter.
Alright, I would entertain a motion to approve the state of the town message as written.
So moved, as long as it's the Evelyn Wood speed reading contest.
Seconded.
Alright, any discussion? Seeing none, by roll call. Heather?
Aye.
Angelina?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Skip?
Aye.
Kyle?
Aye.
Victoria?
Aye.
And Greg votes aye. Declare the motion carried unanimously. Alright. Next item on the agenda, meeting minutes. Anyone have any comments on the meeting minutes? So the only one I had was in the motion to get me to do this one more time. We appreciate the call out of Amy objecting to it, but I'd say either leave it out or mark in there that she is a audience member or something like that. We got to chuckle on that. So,
That's cute.
Skip promised her during the meeting it would be in the minutes, so
good.
Yep.
Yeah, just add that it's audience
sure.
audience member or something. All right. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Seeing none. Heather,
Aye.
Angelina,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Skip,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Victoria,
Aye.
and Greg votes aye. Declare the motion carried unanimously. That is all the business we have tonight. We will be meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to discuss town meeting logistics. For those that are able to make it, that will be entirely by Zoom. And so the next time I see you all in person will be for the night of town meeting. We'll be meeting at 6:30 on the stage, as usual, missing some people that unfortunately have a work trip.
Yes.
So.
Very unfortunately.
Boo.
All right. Seeing as there's nothing else coming before us tonight, I declare the meeting adjourned.